Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Yhamish Presents. That's right, folks. We try to discuss all things Amtgard here and ask some serious questions and have some fun.
Hey, station manager, move it over like 2 bits.
Yeah, for some reason it just changed.
The OBS, move it. Oh, there we go.
No.
Move it.
There.
Yeah.
That's good.
A little to the right, no, a little to the left, and a little more to the right.
Now, sometimes it usually takes people a minute or two to catch the notification and then start logging into the chat room or whatnot. So it usually takes a minute or two. But anyway, so on the couch this evening, you notice we're not at the table. We're on the couch, which.
Where do you normally have the table?
It's right there. But anyway, we have Mokushi here today, and I'm not going to go through all the titles and different things that are attached to your name. I'm just going to say Mokushi. It's
easier than going through the 21 Squire titles.
Yeah, we would be here for 15 minutes of the show just trying to announce you.
Yeah.
All right, so she is the only current candidate for the Celestial Kingdom Monarchy.
I'm okay with it being like that.
Okay.
We need a champion, though. We have absolutely nobody declared for champion.
Yeah, the problem is I'm not running again because I'm leaving.
Yeah.
So.
No.
Yeah. So unfortunately, there goes my warnings telling me that now it's letting everybody know that everything's on now.
I was about to say that's not my call sign.
No. So anyway, so folks, so what we're going to do tonight is, since she is running, and we all know that CK has been a bit of
dumpster fire
lately.
Hey, remember, it was the winter season, and we were cold. We had some unfortunate weather.
Okay, we put up enough heat.
The dumpsters are lit. CK calls for aid.
We had enough.
That is unfortunately very true.
Yeah, the thing is we put up enough heat during this winter time that people in the desert are jealous of us now.
Yeah.
We have more heat than they do.
Bless the rains down in Africa.
I needed to eat popcorn and marshmallows. Okay,
that's what it was for.
I was roasting hot dogs and I ran out of hot dogs, but not run out of flame. I'm just saying.
I caused one of those dumpster fires.
So yeah, you were the reason why we now have the
Murky Waters Amendment.
We have a murky water.
The major dumpster fire.
We have a Murky Waters Amendment now in our Kapora because of you. So anyway,
I caused 2 dumpster fires. Never mind.
What we're gonna do is I want everybody that's sitting on the couch tonight to introduce themselves so everybody knows who's here today. So let's start off over on the very end.
Hi, I'm Harley. I have a dog. I'm really happy.
And she is also running as well. She's running for the regent position.
Can you move the McDonald's box?
Yeah, we need to get that logo out of there. So anyway,
no,
now you're gonna have a dog in the box. If you did just,
it's like being on our show. No logos allowed.
Yeah, we can't do logos and stuff like that. So anyway, she's running for the regent's position of the Celestial Kingdom as well. So Harley, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I've been playing Amtgard for 3 years now. I have a dog that's trying to get in my purse. But yeah, 3 years now. I started in the EH. My first major event
was me throwing her under the bus and making her help me with Spring War.
Yeah, I was ANS Krat. I was Kid-a-Krat. I was a little bit of everything.
So there you go.
Do you want something from me?
She thinks you have food.
And
wait. If I pet you, will you vote for me?
Hey, we can't do that now because we've had all kinds of issues over it. Hey, if I do this, will you vote for me?
But it's a dog, so it's okay.
All right. So, and next to me, of course, we have the lovely Mokushi. Mokushi, tell us all about yourself. In Amtgard.
I'm Mokushi.
There's more to it than that.
There is. I started the game in 06. I've been a regent and a prime minister of our kingdom already. That was fun. And now I'm trying to go for Monarch. Because World of Warcraft, that's why.
There you go. All right, so
World of Warcraft.
And then over here on my left is the one and only lovely Miranda. Everybody knows her, or AKA Lyrio McCrotch. So say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hell, there we go.
This?
And
that's River, baby.
And that's River, the dog that can't get enough possible attention. And of course, working in our studio tonight is the wonderful Lufa.
Fenris!
And
it doesn't matter what he changes his name to, he will forever be
Loofah.
the loofah.
There you go.
Hashtag loofah for life.
All right. So anyway, folks, like I said, we have two candidates here. One running for Monarch, the other one running for the Regent's position. And I decided tonight we would open up the floor and allow people to ask questions. Now, while we're waiting for you guys to start chiming in on your questions, first of all, let's address our recent happenings in the CK. As we all know,
The possum in the dumpster.
as we all know,
That was a trash
a couple
can.
weeks ago,
He got saved after you.
a couple weeks ago we had
you were
ourselves we had a group of penalties that came down the pike that people were not where were coming.
They banned everybody.
We had a ban, we had a suspension, and we had 2 probations. Since then, since I was last on the show, because last week I had the Monarch of the CK on, and we discussed this.
That only caused more problems.
Since then, we have now nobody is suspended, banned, or on probation. Now, what is your feelings about this?
A mess. Okay, I went through and I Harley finally read to me all of the reports and stuff. And my personal opinion on everything that happens with the information that was brought forth and the information that was given as, yeah.
That's my feelings exactly.
The information that was brought forth as evidence to the contrary of the credits being fraudulent. I say, personally, my opinion on the whole subject would have been throw out the credits.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no real way to determine one way or another whether or not they were valid credits.
Yeah.
Pictures that they had were, some of them were obvious DAG pictures, some of them were...
Like the 2 guys in the healer sashes.
They might have actually legitimately been playing. The problem is, with all of the issues that have been happening recently around it, here's the bar, and they're playing with the bar just above it. Unfortunately, with that, you got to play so far above the bar, it can't be questioned.
Yeah.
So when it comes to events like that with the Devil's Bayou, I personally, I would have said, throw out all those credits. It doesn't make a difference now.
Mm-hmm.
And don't ban or suspend anybody. Just go, hey, no, we're not going to do this in the future. When you have Planetfall, play somewhere completely different. Or have it be so obviously a separate location that your park is being held, there can be no question.
Yeah.
When it can be questionable, play so far above the bar, they can't question you.
This is very true. I mean, you can't argue it when there is no way to miss and understand what is going on. Mm-hmm. You know, at that point. It's kind of like I always tell people, sometimes you have to explain things to the lowest denominator. And
we had this one
break
happen
it down
before.
bar
I was
style.
Prime Minister when Thad ran for Monarch. And when it came to voting, to counting the votes, I was like, here are the votes. I will sit here and count them with you. We're going to do the first initial vote here in public. And I had 3 people that were voted on to be the trusted people to count them. They counted them. They wrote their numbers. They signed off on them. They counted their numbers. They wrote them down. They signed off on them. And then I went through and I grabbed all the emails and I brought those together. I'm like, here's all the emails. And then I posted the results. I took it to other people just to make sure it wouldn't be somebody going, well, you did you fudged the records to make sure that so and so would win or so and so would win. I'm like, here it is. Here are the people who have agreed and they've signed on it, agreeing that they have signed on to it, and gotta play above the bar.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, those of you guys that are watching this on YouTube right now, if you have any questions for the 2 candidates that I have sitting on the couch tonight, feel free to ask. There is nothing off limits. We are not censored on this show.
Yeah, ask me anything. I don't care.
You can say fuck.
We don't pull punches on this show, as you guys can tell in the subsequent little fire that popped out after my questions last week. I don't hold back.
That was like
because,
a trash can.
Yeah, it was a trash can comparatively wise. You know, and
Did they get a little cold last week?
It got a little cold last week, but
I feel
anyway,
like
so
we're to start another one because it got cold a little.
Every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks.
Yeah, like clockwork.
Yeah.
Almost.
So I don't.
We all know there's something going to be coming new because there's Spring War coming up, and as much as we all love Spring War, there's always some fire that comes after it.
Yeah. And speaking of Spring War, that is coming up real shortly. So, folks,
2 weeks.
2 weeks, and by the way, you can pre-reg. That pre-reg is still up, correct?
I've got to go pre-reg because Harley and I now have to be there Friday night.
Yes.
For the Carn Evil.
we're being brought in for Carnival.
Okay.
We are bringing out Pyramid Head again.
All right.
We're going to rock out the 12-foot tall Pyramid Head. And the fun thing is we're going to be outside, which means I can run that costume fully wetted, which means all the blood will be fresh. I don't have to, like, sit around for half an hour and let it dry before I go interact with people.
So you don't stain anything or anybody?
Oh, I'm going to stain everybody who gets near me. If you're stupid enough to run into Pyramid Head, you're going to walk away covered in stage blood.
Sweet. I've got to find some crap that I don't mind ruining.
She's just not allowed to catch me on fire this year.
I just can't catch her on fire.
Why not?
Burn ban.
Yeah, burn ban.
Oh, yeah.
Usually my costume catches on fire.
Well, I usually light her on fire a lot.
I think if we were going to go with the fire thing, I think it would be more hilarious, though, if we could just dress somebody in a dumpster and light them on fire.
Yeah, but that and you have a bunch of drunk people.
Yeah, this is very true.
And we don't want drunk people.
I'm already going to be 12 foot tall on painter stilts in the dark with a bunch of drunk people.
Yeah, I can see this now.
So Harley's going to be
a dog person.
Harley's going to be one of my handlers. Monica's bringing me a second handler, so
yeah,
we're going to have full sirens running. It's going to be great.
All right, so
Angel
I feel like I
Baker.
need to pull this off on my...
we already have one question. I'm sitting far away, so
We're all blind.
Camp Lone Star. Oh, okay, you want to read it? Go ahead. You
Oh
go
wait,
ahead.
hi Michael Green. Hi Iniad.
I got a dog.
Camp Lone Star. Does the CK have a contract that guarantees the CK's access to the improvements the CK is funding? No. We have a handshake agreement.
We have a handshake agreement, and actually, if you actually watch my Facebook,
they discussed that.
My Facebook Live post from yesterday, Monica actually went into detail on that with them.
Yeah.
And how all of that's been working.
Speaking of that situation, and one of the reasons that the other information I was given later after the fact, I was a little upset about the way that they handled the proposal about getting more money, because
yeah, they made it sound...
I was under the understanding they were asking, and so was a lot of other people.
They wanted $6,000 more.
They wanted $6,000 more dollars on top of the $5,500 we were already spending.
Yeah.
Which brought it to $11,500.
But they were only asking for $500.
The thing was, I got upset and said, I'm not voting for this with a 2-week notice of spending $6,000 when this is something that we should have had done or we should have factored. And then to come to find out that all they wanted was $500 more.
Why were we only finding out that the clarification on this was the day before?
Well, from what I've heard is they posted it so people would get bent out of shape and excited and show up to discuss it.
That's literally what Monica said.
And to me, I'm sorry, but I think that would have made me vote no even more.
Cyril just sent me a message and she said it was her fault. She miswrote the request.
She did. Oh, okay.
She says I wrote that request for the all thing wrong.
Oh, okay. Because I was told that somebody put it out intentionally to raise everybody up to get them to show up to discuss it.
No.
So it wasn't accident.
That was a sideline comment. That was it's like, it's amazing how, nobody shows up to do all these things, and then, they misunderstand. It was written really badly, but it was misunderstood, and then everybody gets up in arms, and everybody shows up for this magically.
Well, I couldn't show up. I couldn't be there. But I would have shown up anyway. I try to show up to discussions as much as possible.
Yeah.
Even though I know I'm leaving the kingdom, I'm still a part of it. So.
One of the new things that we've been actually waiting to talk to, we're going to actually talk about it again tomorrow on our Facebook Live, is the new doing all things online.
I have no problem with doing all things online. I've been involved in 3 different other kingdoms that did all things online. Mm-hmm. They basically did a roundtable kind of discussion, almost like a town hall meeting, and then let everybody chime in, and we basically ignore the stupid shit. But
personally, I say we take it off of Facebook, take it to something like Discord, or we make ourselves a forums.
Discord is becoming very, very popular in a lot of places.
Or you take it somewhere else where people actually have to take the actual effort to move to that forum to actually discuss it. And if it's something you don't give a flying whoop-de-woohoo about, you don't do it. Now, I know there's a lot of people that are not computer savvy. Thank you.
Yeah.
Computer savvy,
and
are be
Discord on your phone.
Yeah,
we actually have a Kingdom Discord page.
Now we do.
Started.
And they're like, well, but I'm not
Kingdom,
I'm not park savvy. Well, then it becomes on your park leaders to bring the discussion to your park, and then, if you have people are not computer savvy, then taking those to your park, having the people that want to proxy vote at the park, and then taking those proxy votes to...
Yeah.
But there's very few people I know nowadays that are not computer savvy. You pretty much have to be.
Well, you do.
In some form.
In some way or another, because almost everything we do now is completely computerized.
Yeah.
I think my job's one of the only jobs left where we strictly handle paperwork. None of
I handle paperwork.
I also say stop having all thing right before court.
Yes, because all I care about is food at that point, and you're in my way.
Yeah.
Or
by
having
that point in time, I'm tired and cranky, and I don't want to deal with most people.
Or doing the all thing right after feast is always goofy because then people have been drinking and eating, and nobody takes it seriously.
Well, I mean, or do it early in the morning on Saturday.
Yeah, do it early morning Saturday.
Yeah, because then all the drunk people won't show up.
Or
they'll be still
wait a
in the
minute,
tent
hold on.
sleeping.
For those of us that have played this game for a very long time, like myself, we used to hold our all things Sunday.
But all of us day. The thing is now, a lot of people day trip because it's.
And I get that, but the thing is,
and it's hard to get babysitters.
Well, no, and I get that, but the thing is that's how we did it forever because Sunday morning they would hold the BOD meeting, and then right following the BOD meeting, the Kingdom would have an all thing, do their all thing because you had to be off site by noon, so they would crank the all thing out right afterwards, and then everybody take off. And the people in your camp that didn't want to do the all thing would just tear camp down and get it all set up. That way the people who actually gave a shit could go do the all thing and not have to worry about getting pulled out of it. You know, and that's the thing that you've got with these all things when they complain about, well, we can't get people to show up this. You've genuinely got a lot of people in this game that as long as they have a park to show up, sign up, and beat people with sticks, that's all they care about.
This is why I say to them Saturday morning. If you care about the subject that's going to be voted on, you'll get up and you'll go there Saturday morning. They do it for the night circle. You know how many nights actually show up Saturday morning sometimes? You know, they do them Friday night. You know, let's say they do the night circle at 9 a.m. Okay, congratulations, night circle. You're at 9 a.m. All things at 10. Yes. Hour long night circle. If it takes longer than an hour, don't care.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
bring it to me online.
And that's an option. Well, we already addressed Angela's other question.
I love Slack. I didn't realize Slack existed until I worked for my current company, and now I love and hate it because it goes off constantly on my phone.
We already addressed Angela's question about your opinion on bringing digital collaboration tools to bear with Kingdom, Discord, Slack, digital, all things, you know, to hold documents for everyone and stuff like that.
I know the Emerald Hill says that they have their Facebook page, but their Facebook page is not their official page. They have a forums. So if they do any kind of official conversations, like all things, I don't know what else goes on there.
They also use Google Docs.
Google Docs.
Yeah.
And they hold their official discussions.
All their sign-ins are on Google Docs.
Yeah, which is accessible.
And so they hold all of their official business on the forums, and they leave Facebook for announcements and bullshittery and memes.
Memes.
I love
memes
the meme wars that go on in the Emerald Hills, because when it comes time for election, like, they tastefully put together memes, and they're hilarious.
This is the only kingdom I've been in since Facebook has been a thing where they do not do political meme ads for people running for office.
You can't put them on the main.
No, you can't. You just put them on the meme skiffs and unmoderated discussion for that game we play on the weekends.
Yeah, I know that, but I mean, even when I
made a really long title that describes exactly what we do without saying exactly what we do.
500 people or less.
Do you guys think 500 people or less for Spring War? No, I think more.
What was our number last year?
Yeah, that's what I want.
Was it 498?
Then yeah, more.
I believe we can hit 500 this year.
I think we just missed 500 last year.
Hey,
I agree.
You got
Ice for
two
King.
more, so you at least have 500.
Yeah. So I think we were just short of.
Angel is a dude. Never mind.
I'm sorry. If your screen name is not your Amtgard name, or I don't know you personally, I'm probably have no idea who I'm talking to. I mean, I went 2 shows before I realized who Michael Green was.
And Mike, no
serious
private messages.
You know, and try not to put little private messages up there.
Private.
Because if it's something you don't want somebody to know.
Hashtag Ice for King.
Ice for King.
You know, if it's something you don't want people to know you asked, don't private message me on Facebook while this is going on. Because I will read your name and read your question.
Oh, yeah.
Which reminds me, this is a question this is from the rumor mill. Okay.
Wait, Mike's a dude?
So it's from Ben?
Mike's a dude.
No, it's not.
Oh, Mike messages, Mike is a dude, too.
That was for watcher only? Will you get PM'd on that? Do you get to see your private messages on this stuff?
No, Mike was going to send Watcher private messages.
And then we all turned around
Yeah.
and said yes. And then we realized
That he had
we just agreed to private in quotation marks.
Dick
And
pics.
We're like, yeah. Oh,
We were sending unsolicited dick pics yesterday.
that's
to
when
each
I
other.
start sending pictures of Richard Nixon to people. And they're like,
I-
what are you
I
doing?
sent-
Unsolicited dick pic.
Yeah, Van
Here's
Dyke.
an
I
unsolicited
sent
dick
Dick
pic for
Van
you.
Dyke pics. And a tree that looks like a
I
giant
sent a
penis.
Dick Van
Would you
Dyke
quit
pic.
stealing all my dick pics, man?
I also like the tree that's a giant penis.
Yes. All right.
steals
So
all
let
my
me
dick
ask
pics.
you a question that's coming out of the rumor mill.
Okay.
That came out of the rumor mill last time you ran, which was last reign. Okay.
I am not unbanning anybody.
And that's not what.
Especially koala boots.
No. That wasn't the question. That wasn't the thing that came up. Why? All right. Why should people vote for you when the rumor mill opinion on you is if things don't go your way, you're going to get pissed off, you're going to rage, and you're going to walk away?
I'm sorry, with all the crap I've been through already, and I haven't raged and walked away.
I'm just asking you
Asking
based
for the
off of
rumor
what
mill.
the rumor mill was last time around.
That was the rumor mill last.
That
Yes.
the last time rumor mill's going around is
Cool.
why should I vote for Mokushi
Fuck
when
this shit, I'm going home.
if Mokushi gets mad, she'll rage and she'll quit, and then we're out of Monarch.
Wait, if she rages and quits, that means I
So
have to
if
take
I'm
over,
doing
right?
a really horrible
Yeah.
job, wouldn't that be a good thing?
No, because we're
Considering our past history so far, if I'm doing such a bad job that I rage quit and walk away,
you would have actually won up the last two Monarchs because you actually walked away.
I would have actually walked away and been like, okay, guys, here you
But
go.
then the problem is if you do that, you're going to cause more issues in the household, though, because
But then I've rage quit and walked away and I don't care.
yeah. But the problem is then Harley becomes queen
It's either that, me, or Thad.
Which means I'm still, so that, you're Thad.
or
I
Thad.
could not write it. I can
You're
only
Thad.
write a better
If we
sitcom.
cover the throne in unicorns, he will stay away.
Quick, everybody
No,
throw
he'll-
unicorns
no, he'll try
everywhere.
to hit it and kill it.
Yeah, we need.
And then you have to deal with
No, we
Sable
will cover
humping
the
it.
throne in horsehair.
Then he'll stay away.
Then he can't sit on it.
There we go. All right, so
But no, I mean, honestly, with as much crap as I look through in this game, and honestly, me now is nothing like me a year ago. And
Okay.
it's nothing like me a year before that. And Lufa can contest.
Wait,
Lufa
can I
used to
make-
live with me.
Can I make a bacon joke real fast?
No, you cannot say that. I know what you're going to say.
No, I was just gonna say, when you were with Thad,
Yeah, okay, we're just going to start out
Thad
when I
makes
was with
people,
Dad.
like, when she was with Thad, I feel like Thad made...
I've had so many people tell me how
so,
much more they like
when
me now
people,
that I'm no
people
longer with
date
him.
Thad, they become terrible people. They become
Or like
assholes.
raging balls of cunty hate.
Yes, raging balls of cunty hate. That's what I was gonna say. And once you got away from Thad,
oddly
you were
enough,
so much better.
Yeah. Thad and I actually still have a relatively good working relationship. We're still really cordial and really nice with each other. I actually have Facebook conversations with him all the time, and I can work with him.
He asked me
He's
why
a dick sometimes, but yes, I can work with him.
Sometimes I'll post like random ass statuses, like I hate pooping after I take a shower. And he was like, I'm assuming this is some sort of Facebook joke. And it's like, no, I really just hate pooping after a shower.
He takes everything so seriously.
He does.
He does.
It's very
He
serious.
does. The difference between last year and this year is last year she was trying to burn you externally. This year it's internally via digestion.
No,
Some hot
okay,
wings.
Yeah,
it's
I
just
was-
you, Ben. She just likes thinking you're
I
an
just
upside
tried
down
to turn
volcano.
you into an upside down. This year, I'm gonna make people cry with one of my Qualls entries.
I'm like gonna have headphones on.
I will tell you about it.
I
Like,
will go
Harley's not
hide
gonna
in
come
a
anywhere near
corner.
it.
I am
Okay.
not going anywhere near her.
Okay, cool. What would you consider a successful reign, taking the past two in consideration, and how would you plan to attain that?
Make the game fun again.
My main focus is on just having a. There are going to be dumpster fires. Let's not. I'm not gonna even kid about it. There are going to be dumpster fires. There's going to be something that somebody's not going to like, and they're going to rage about it, and they're going to post all over Facebook, and they're going to be pissy because their opinions are. They feel like they're being, stepped on or whatever. The little snowflakes are gonna cry.
Oh God, we said snowflakes.
I said snowflakes. It's summertime, so the snowflakes will go
SJWs.
freaking melt.
Mm-hmm.
And you all you can do is deal with those when they come. My plan right now is to go, hey, here's what we're gonna do. We're going with World of Warcraft, so we're trying to plan a reign that actually rolls through all the expansions. We're planning a rolling RP.
Mhm.
I've got an RP team whose entire job is to help me push the RP online. and to help me push the storyline through all 6 months. Not just go, hey, we're doing RP, we're really excited about it, and 2 weeks later we're like, what? Oh yeah, RP, go have fun with that. We're actually constantly pushing and rolling the RP through this whole thing.
Okay, so it's something that's going to keep up. It's not like how Armand said, we're going to do this RP, and then it was...
I've been working on this
It was
plan
good.
for
It was
2
like...
years.
The first 3 months it rolled good.
It was rolling okay, and then all of a sudden it just stopped. Like, there was nothing else. And it was like,
we've
where
got
are we
an
going?
expansion coming out in September. We've actually rolled that expansion into the rain.
I actually messaged Blizzard to get information.
And so in addition to that, we're like, okay, and we're going to be doing like a rolling relic quest.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to have relic quests, but we're going to have relics you can earn through achievements. So you, the regular populace, can earn titles and relics and other things by doing achievements and PvP and all these fun things. We're trying to incorporate fun that we all enjoy, the fun things that we like at our parks. Like, we like to hit people with sticks.
It's making me wish
I want to play wacky bats. And making it, for the stick jocks. You are very, very stick jocks. Hey, guess what? Go fight and have fun. You don't have to worry about any of this flirby stuff. You can go fight and have fun. For the flirby people, look at all the flurbiness you can have fun with. For the non-coms, look at all this fun, like, arts and science and other crap you can do. I'm going to overwhelm people with stuff. We've been working on this for, like, 2 years now.
Okay. All right. So...
I've got a media team who's going to help us push with our media online. Harley is actually helping me put together, because we're hitting convention season 2. Mm-hmm. And we're working on getting a convention team together to actually approach conventions and going, hey, this is what we do. We would like to bring our stuff to you. Hey, this is the closest park. Hey, guys, would y'all like to do this? And getting more people recruited. Samurai,
come see Amtgard.
Well, and that was going to lead into my next question for you. Me and you talked on the phone a little bit about this.
About my Sleeping Samurai joke.
And so, what is your plan for the next with the next reign? Because we do have conventions, we do have fairs coming up. People getting credits for representing the organization at these events.
Determined, like, you message going, hey, Murky Waters is going to be having a booth at Geek Fest. For our people that sign in, and we sit down and you bring me your plan of what you want and what you're expecting, and I'll counterbalance with, like, okay, I like these points, but I think we need to change these, and we'll go back and forth and we'll come up with a plan that'll represent it. My thing is, I absolutely hate it when groups go to the con, sign every person that stops by the booth in, and give them all credits. Your people that are working your booth should get credit. Mm-hmm. If you have Amtgarders that are, at the event and they come by and they stop by, they're talking Amtgard and they fight a little bit and whatever, they're established players, they should get credits. And then you have a separate sign-in for your new players that just show up for the first time on a different list, and if they actually show up, then they get that credit. I've done many, 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 many conventions where I fought all weekend long. I promoted Amtgard, and I never got credit for it. I didn't care. I was fighting. I was happy.
I feel like there should be a standard for what an Amtgard booth looks like.
Yeah.
Because I love you guys to death, but Geek Fest, you have a single white pavilion out there on that field, and then you got the SCA tents.
And if I had to choose, makes us look crappy.
If I had to choose which side I'm walking to the SCA tents.
Well, no, and I get that, and that's one of the things too is, I've done conventions over on the East Coast.
Yes, so Wickerwood has been doing a fabulous job.
Yeah, Wickerwood does a great job.
I've been.
That's pretty much the only two I can really pull off the top of my head is Murky Waters, and Murky Waters has a really good relationship with Geek Fest. You don't understand how hard it is to obtain.
Yeah.
And maintain a really good relationship with Geek Fest. Harley and I have the owner on speed dial. Like, I've been working conventions for, I'm going to age myself here, 21 years. God. My convention career can drink now legally. I feel like an old school Amtgarder.
That's alright. Thursday at Spring War, Yhamish's character turns 21.
Distin disagrees, but I'm not sure what he's disagreeing with.
I disagree.
There's a lot of commentary there.
Well...
Distin disagrees.
Oh, okay. He's commenting on something that's already in the post.
I'm gonna have to pull my back up.
Yeah,
I'm blind.
Okay.
These glasses
Lufa, you are now in charge of reading the comments because all of us are blind and can't read that.
I can read that.
You can read them.
Yeah, but you can still read them. They're right there in front of you.
I can read them.
Apparently, I'm still blind.
Yeah.
We're all blind.
Angel Baker says, I've seen lots of comments that the CK has a bad ratio of membership compared to the size of the metro areas. So what would you suggest to assist the parks increase and retain membership?
Honestly, that's a park by park thing because I don't know each individual metro area.
What we do at Murky
you guys have a good thing going.
Well, recently we just got a group of about 10 teenagers. Their parents were not Amtgard. They did not know anything about Amtgard. One person that they used to go to school with, that
Played
still
Amtgard.
kind of hung out with them, was like, hey, you should come see this. You guys don't do
Okay.
anything on Sundays anyways. So we've just been teaching those kids, and while some kids are taking to it really great, there's a couple that are future warlords in the making.
Yeah, they
Hey, some people. I mean,
No,
we
I-
were,
like-
we were creating
Yeah,
a lot
slough
of
it up. Slough it up.
Weirdly enough, we were actually out to dinner last night with a bunch of people, and we were talking, and I was like, it's like, I kept hearing the same words pop up, and we were all anime kids. We were all anime convention kids that went to that went to conventions, and we fought with the LARPing groups. And honestly, I did not know. I fought with those groups for probably a decade before I ever knew Amtgard existed. I could have been playing this game for a decade longer.
Senpai has noticed us and says GeekFest has been a thing for about 5 years. When people come out and pick up weapons, we become liable.
Yep.
Well, you do have to do waivers.
And that's
Yeah.
very true. The problem
Still
is when you're talking about the credit issue. When we're talking about the credit issue, okay?
I mean, yes, you always have, if somebody's going to be grabbing a sword and swinging it, even if they're like, you still need to sign a waiver. Hands down, flat out, you sign a waiver.
I mean, I sign a waiver when I walk over to the SCA booth.
I mean, but still, when it comes to the credits, I
think
mean,
that's a discussion nobody's ever going to be happy with, and it's going to be one of those that I think we need to sit down and full-blown hash out
we need to
something into our Corpora.
we need to have a regulation concerning how we accept credits from conventions, and I kind of agree with part of your stance on this because it gets annoying. I was a prime minister of a park during a convention, and sitting there for 4 days, going through, entering in all these credits, and then turn around and maybe 6 out of all those credits that I rolled in there showed up in the next month following the convention.
Well, like one of the
And you're like,
things-
why did I sit there all those days to do that? Now, I mean, I realize that we go by the numbers on Orc more than we used to.
Yeah.
It used to be, you would actually take your sign-in sheets and you would take a look at them and make consideration on whether or not your park was advanced or your park was demoted. Now we go by the numbers on Orc. So yes, when you have a convention and you have 150 people sign in on your sheet for that weekend, okay, that's 150. That's 150 sign-ins towards your average, which brings your average up a couple points.
I feel like it's artificially inflated. Because, I mean, if we want to go by that, Harley and I have actually been offered by QuakeCon to run a LARP field up there.
I could sign in 15,000 people
We
for
have
Nocturnus.
we have
Yeah.
15,000 people we would sign in one weekend.
And that would take, what,
and that's
5
what
months
is it,
to bring the average down?
15,000 would be 1/5 of the people that are there that we interact with. So
Imagine trying to sign in at Dragon Con.
Oh, jeez.
yeah,
It'd take me 6 months to enter all those.
Harley and I are in talks with Dragon Con about getting us out. I told you, Harley and I have networked our way through conventions for a long time. But we travel, and I've personally run LARPing fields in San Antonio, Houston, Austin, Dallas, and Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if I'm running these, is it going to go to the local park? No, I'm the one putting my name on this. I'm the one putting my effort. So shouldn't the cards go to my park? Yeah. Then I feel like that's artificially inflating my park's numbers.
Well, I mean, I think if you're doing a convention where you could possibly have, let's just use that number.
If you could affect your park's numbers.
If you could have, say, let's just say 15,000 on a sign-in sheet, okay? All right, so you got a 1 weekend deal or a 2 weekend deal where you're showing 15,000. I mean, you're talking about what, 5 months before your average will drop down to a realistic number that's no longer
Now with as
considered
many
artificial.
conventions as I could run a year.
No, but I'm saying is if you just
I
take
could be
the
a
one.
kingdom.
I'm saying if you just take the one,
Yeah.
the 15,000, just the 1 weekend.
But
You would have
I'm
to-
taking this into account with what I've seen happen with a couple of duchies where they gave out awards, high level awards, like we're talking 5s and 6s, to people who really did not deserve them.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that artificially inflates your award basis, it artificially inflates your park numbers, and it gives us an unrealistic notation for what our kingdom should actually be.
No, I think in a situation like what Diston's talking about there, where this is like we do 80 to 100, so it's not the same.
Yeah.
And it isn't, because 80 to 100, your next year, 2 weekends later, your numbers are pretty close to what their average is anyway. So anything that's really under 250 on a sign-in sheet, you're not really going to artificially inflate that part.
So should we set a cap in that?
But if we get access to some of the large cons,
but the thing is, if we do, so I agree with you.
Set a cap.
Maybe we should have a cap. Okay, look, you could take the credits for that weekend if it's up to this point. Once you pass that, you have to have X amount of percentage of that to come back to your park again, or play Amtgard for those credits to count. And so then that way, you know, we're not looking at
the repeats from previous years. When I ran LARPing fields, I used to help with Battlegrounds, and we actually had a leveling system for people that would come back here. We had a computer system we ran the database on, and everybody had to sign in through the database.
Mm-hmm.
And if you were a repeater from multiple conventions or from multiple years, you got to play higher levels.
Yeah.
So, like, you come in one year, you're playing a level 1. You come in the next year, you play a level 2. And we had all the way up to a 10-level cap. And some of us walked in, like, day 1, and I'm a Grand Marshal. I'm still the highest ranked person we have on the field. I don't understand that. But that tells you how bad some of their fighting is.
The only reason we're really complaining about Geek Fest is we go to Geek Fest.
I'm not complaining. Like, I'm not trying to pick on Geek Fest. It's just,
we go to Geek
it
Fest.
happens to be the next one in my line of.
example.
It happens to be the one I was talking about earlier today. So it happens to be the one that's in my line of sight right now.
Well, and not to mention the fact it's a convention that happens, you know, where one of our parks is very bigly involved in it.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's right here. You know, when you talk about things like Dragon Con, and
I'm not specifically complaining
question.
about Geek Fest. I'm specifically complaining. Actually, I do have specific complaints about Geek Fest.
You know,
but I've worked with Geek Fest for 3 years now.
Should those one-time players count as freeholders? That's
getting even into more obscure record.
Well, not to mention the fact it makes
get one sign-in a year.
It makes, but the thing is it makes tracking it a lot more.
5 years, you get to play a level 2.
You know, it makes tracking it very difficult because, you know, if you're going to say that, okay, let's go ahead and make all the people who sign in that year a freeholder, you know, each year. The problem is,
would we have?
but then you'd have to. But the problem is then you're talking about a freehold. You might have like 5,000 people in.
Yeah.
Which outdoes the originating kingdom of this game, by like. In fact, it outdoes
like
just about every single game.
Yeah, but you have one sign-in, right?
The
Look how this is
5,000.
we get all like in depth.
5,000. The next weekend, their average goes down to 2,500. Then the weekend after that, it goes down even more, and it keeps going down until the end of the 6 months, where it's just halved itself so much.
Thank you, Diston. I like my tunic too.
I don't know why you're looking at me.
Everybody look at Jill.
Everybody look at Jill. Everybody likes Yhamish's tunic. Just saying.
He likes your tunic because it's got the flames on it, and he wants a tunic with the damn flames on it, and I hate the flames!
I love flames.
Ah! Yeah, sewing them is a pain in my ass, though.
You know.
Just in for you, maybe.
But anywho, you know, no, but I mean, you're looking at the possibility, though. Okay, but you're saying that the next week it's going to go down, the next week it's going to go down. The problem is, and I've been on the West Coast for the conventions, you have one convention, and then another convention, and then another convention. Then you have the Vegas convention that comes in. So this
is Texas. You've got at least 3 conventions a weekend every weekend.
I mean, I'm talking about the
really dogs.
Yeah, right there. Bella, knock it off. God. So
at least it was slightly off screen.
Yeah, but no. So you got the one. You've got Dragon Con. Then you've got there's another one. There's another one up in San Francisco. Then you've got one in Sacramento. Then you have the really big one in Vegas.
San Diego Comic-Con.
You got Comic-Con. Okay, so technically, if we did this and you did it right, you could actually, by the end of a 6-month run, have a freehold that is averaging anywhere between 4,500 to 11,000 members.
That's why I said we just need to
call it the Kingdom of Convention.
Disney World needs to be a freehold.
Though my thing when it comes to convention is, I do work in the convention circuit, and a lot of the people who know me in the convention circuit know I LARP. And when I hear about all of the different LARPs they bring in, and a lot of conventions have gotten a bad taste in their mouth because they've had so many bad LARPs come in.
Like Alliance.
Don't get me started on the long list of crap people have had and the problems they've had to deal with.
I played Alliance one weekend.
So the thing is, we need to keep our personal standard higher, because what you don't realize is, I'm sorry, I'm going to pick on GeekFest. You go to GeekFest and, you know, y'all have a white pavilion and then everybody's sitting around in shorts and they're like, yeah, we're Amtgard, blah, blah, blah. What you don't realize is GeekFest, you know, small relative convention, but then you have somebody from San Japan, a big person who runs San Japan, comes and sees this, and then when Amtgard petitions San Japan, they go, well, I saw y'all at this convention and y'all were crap.
Yeah.
So now this other group, which, you know, could be affiliated with us, could not be affiliated. It could be one that's in Dallas sees this and go, yeah, we're not going to give it to you because the last time we saw you, all you did was have a white pavilion. You sat around in shorts and we're like, yeah, we're Amtgard.
Okay, Justin's got a good question.
That's my titty.
No, not happening.
Justin's got a good question for you, Jill.
Okay.
What
if your convention hits at a Kingdom event while you're Monarch? Where do you go?
Actually, I'm actually planning our schedule right now so that doesn't happen. I don't know if you saw my Facebook page. Harley and I took a desk calendar and I ripped all of the months out of it and I pinned them to my wall. And then I took sticky notes and I stuck sticky notes all over it. The orange ones are Inner Kingdom events. The green ones are Emerald Hills. The blue ones are Wetlands. CK is pink. And then other events are going to go on as yellow. So I can try to plan the Kingdom schedule without, you know, having Mid-Rain fall on top of GeekFest. Because that, personally, for me, like, screwed me over. Because I run a booth at GeekFest, and I had to be at Mid-Rain.
Yeah.
And Harley's selfieing with the dog.
You know, and
works.
So there you go. So that...
I am very big about trying to plan my... I'm so big about, okay. Like, I've been taking sticky notes and going, okay, I'm going to put this here. Oh, wait, that's on that day. Okay, I'm going to pull that sticky note here. I'm going to put it over here.
Mm.
And, you know, I like to try to get as much on the calendar as possible so we don't try to overlap. Because I like to travel. I like to go to the Emerald Hills and go to their events. I like to go to the Wetlands and go to their events. I like to travel and I like to see everybody. And I want to try to make it where that can happen. And you can be like, hey, we got GeekFest this weekend and everybody's going to be out at GeekFest. And then, hey, we've got, you know, Kingdom Mid-Rain the next weekend and we can go do that. So
Kristen says there's some hard scheduled stuff that can't be gotten around in Kapora, but that's a good idea.
Actually, with the Kapora, and there's a new addendum we added as of End-Rain that I added. Monarchs with agreeance of, I believe it's the Prime Minister or something, and you have to give the Kingdom 30 days prior notice if we're going to shift a calendar date off of its normal schedule. So if we're going to, like, let's say GeekFest and Mid-Rain would fall on the same day because there's something else going on the weekend. We can't get the weekend prior. With, you know, if I go, hey, Prime Minister, here's what I want to do. I want to take Mid-Rain and I want to shove it back to this week that normally wouldn't be in our Kingdom schedule. They agree. We take it to the Kingdom. And we go, this is what we want to do. Here's why we want to do it. Normally, if I'm doing something, I'm going to give you nice, big, long details as to why I'm doing it.
Okay. All right, so one of the things that's going to come up during your reign...
Angel had one up there that's like, one day players get something.
Get no credit.
Get
Only
one credit.
No, and then
no need to
posted
record.
under no credit.
Yeah. Pretty much what I'd said before is until they come back out of the park, they shouldn't be getting credit.
Yeah, have them sign waivers. And
they record the waivers.
They record the waivers, record the credits, put it in a data... We have so many different kinds of databases. Or when they come out to the park the first time, you know, oh, hey, you're new. Have you ever signed in with us before? Oh, you have? You were at GeekFest? Hey, look, let me go dig out those records. Oh, look, here you are. Now you get 2 credits.
Yeah.
Diston asks, are you planning any events outside of LaGrange? Are you going to pull a me, Jill?
I'm not sure. But personally, right now, I have all of the events to be scheduled at LaGrange. The only one we're potentially looking at is possibly with Mid-Rain. Putting it somewhere near water so that we can fight and then grab Pool Noodle and jump in the water and fight Amtgard in the water.
That would be a lot of fun.
Because it's August. That's the only one we're looking at
Brett has already
possibly
asked
shifting around.
to do a bid for mid-rain. For water.
That's the only one. But if we can't get what we want to do, it will be at LaGrange.
I will say that I did that many, many moons ago right here in
That,
Harker
or else I'm
Heights.
just gonna hold one big ass water balloon fight.
Well, we could do that too.
I'll do that one.
Distance said there's a river on the site.
Yeah, but
how gross is it?
Are there water moccasins?
Can I get to the water and get back out?
Yeah.
I am all for water. I've done so many water battles.
You can. There's only one problem.
well, I know that Shalom Camp is like
That
lookout point.
that water that water over there has some bacteria.
I don't
That's my problem.
I don't want that. Nope.
Yeah.
My thing is it's August is so bloody hot, and coming from somebody who has to wear long sleeves outside even in the summer, it is hot, and I want to be able to cool down. But they tried an event by the beach. It did not work. So
yeah, no. The only time you can get an event to work by the beach, and I've had events at lakes, and the only way you get the lake ones to really work though is you've got everybody that's going, pretty much they're all on board with what you've got planned in the schedule involving the water. Mm-hmm. But if it's something that you kind of throw together at the last second, you can't get people on board with it, and it fails.
Can we have a lazy river?
This is why it's one of those
fight?
things that we're tossing back. One of my big things I like to do is before I go, hey guys, here's an idea. I go, hey, here's my idea. Hey, Hurley, here's my idea. And we kick it back and forth. And then I'll be like, hey, Yhamish, here's my idea. And we kick it back and forth. And like, I'll go to people and I'll kick it back and forth. And then I'll go to my test group and I'll be like, here's my idea. And we'll kick it back and forth. And then I'll be like, we'll try to knock out so many weird little problems this way. Mm-hmm. And then I'll be like, okay, Kingdom, here's the idea. Oh, it's absolutely stupid? Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And that works out. Trying to track down where they're going on this.
Everything has bacteria.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's true. Fresh Feast.
That's just a joke.
Oh, okay. All right.
Let me ask you. We were talking about something like doing, in August, maybe doing a one-day event in San Marcos by the river. Or maybe going to Austin, and there's all the lakes in Austin. And we could easily get a camping site by the lake. I just have a one-day
trip to Schlitterbahn.
I just found a really cool place in Waco that's $18.24 a person, and they give you all the floaties. Oh, you can rent one of their beer keg floaties for like.
We're just gonna do this automatically. We'll just take Fun Noodle and hit each other with it.
Yeah, and we'll just hit each other with Pool Noodle, and it takes you an hour to go around.
I would totally go to Schlittergard. We're already talking about going on a cruise in December and calling it Amtgard 1. And all of us are going to take like short swords and shields, and we're going to fight on the deck.
Those are carry-ons.
We're rolling out of Are we going to roll out of Florida on that cruise?
No, we're going to roll out of Galveston.
Damn. I was going to say I don't have to worry about airfare.
Mid-rain at South Padre Island would be fun.
I'd have fun with that.
I did like South Padre Island.
I did remember somebody saying they have a pirate ship that lives on South Padre.
Pirate.
No.
Oh.
This guy we work at Fair with.
But is there an evac plan for Lone Star?
Apparently, when JCS travels to IK events, we bring tornadoes.
Yeah,
there is.
There is
an evacuation.
If tornado, get in ditch. If raining, get on high ground.
I don't know if it's
if
mud.
Fire,
If
get in water.
it's mud.
Well,
Well,
the problem is
if it's mud wars, you just gotta stick your feet in the mud and you ain't going nowhere.
Well, but the problem is
so many shoes were lost that day.
If you're anywhere, pretty much when it comes to tornadoes, if you're anywhere near the bridge, of course that's where you're going.
Go under the bridge.
You go down into that ground. The thing with LaGrange, the way LaGrange's topography is, as long as you are not out in the field.
Don't be on the ditch field.
Don't be out on the ditch field because that's really.
It's just a little rain.
The ditch field and up by where they have their like little outdoor like religious gathering spot up there.
Shalom camp where everyone bangs.
That is like literally the only flat ground there. The rest of it is all sloping terrain, which means geographically speaking.
Could we hide in the new storage unit?
We need rocks.
No.
That's like a baby trailer. Like a trailer had a child, and so the CK storage unit was born.
Okay, when it comes to that, avoid all of the pop-ups and all of the trailers, and you'll be fine.
Just look to see where Yhamish is going.
If you see Yhamish running, obviously you should be faster.
If he's running to
He
his
doesn't
truck,
run
get in the
very
truck.
often.
Yeah, if Yhamish is running, okay, yeah, if this is running, then you need
Follow
to run.
It's like a Buddha belly. Rubber
Follow
for
me,
middle up.
I will take you to where you need to
You
be
will take
safe.
me to-
He know the way.
Yes, I know the way.
We broke Lufa.
What did I just miss that happened?
That fucking meme needs to die.
Is that the one with the
Ugandan
knuckles?
knuckles.
Is it Knuckles?
Yes.
Ugandan knuckles.
Okay, so, but anyway, so yeah, if you see my fat butt running, and it's
have a butt.
and it's cloudy and it's hot, you know, if it's really
If the
It's just
sky
got, like,
is turning
leg to ass.
green or purple,
and the
no
clouds
way.
are doing their spinny thingies,
I will be in a car
Okay.
running.
just follow Yhamish.
There also
If
might
Yhamish
be
is running, it could mean a few things in a normal situation.
Like coffee.
I'm gonna
Like
get
coffee.
laid!
I'm gonna go get coffee.
Yeah, or somebody yelled out, "Hey Yhamish, I got coffee." So make sure you ask.
Yhamish, fresh coffee!
You see, there you go. If I'm running, ask.
Hey,
me,
Lufa, get
Are
on
we-
camera.
If you see me running, what you should do is go, "Yhamish, are we in danger or are you getting coffee?" Coffee! All right, we're good. Everybody good. Back to your stations. Quiet on the set. Places,
way-
places.
Anybody is always free to just message me and just talk your ideas for Amtgard.
Hash it out.
Because I can't fix things I don't know are broken. Fuck the hash it out page. That's why I made the meme page originally. Message me if you're like, hey, you know, you've had this idea and I think it's kind of stupid. Here's my idea counter. We'll counter back. I'm totally okay to throw ideas back and forth because I know 100% some of the ideas I come with. You haven't even heard some of my stupidest ideas because I take them to my panel of judges first
One time,
and they tell
I
me
put my
I'm
hand in
stupid
the
and I go,
microwave.
okay.
Well, Joshua over there says that he's got rubbers for a flooded ditch field.
Okay.
So
Do you have rubbers for
What
flooded
does bondage have
vaginas?
to do with this?
really?
That was my
Haunted
thought.
vaginas.
Flooded.
No, haunted.
No,
Haunted vaginas?
Yeah.
Haunted vaginas.
you got.
Oh, that's when you take the EMF thing, like beep, 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 beep. We're good, boys. We're clear.
I
So-
feel like
They should make like STD detectors, like
I'm
EMF
taking this thing home
detectors.
with me.
this thing has become one with the couch and Jill and I. I
One
forgot
of
there's
us.
a dog here.
There is a dog under there.
It's become one with the couch.
Okay,
It
so
keeps blending in with like my arm, under armor, and I keep forgetting it's there.
all right, so
Sleeping.
another question back on the Amtgard subject. Okay, another question is, are you looking forward to the possibility of now sitting at the high table at COM?
That I think I've heard some really great things and I've heard some really bad things. My thing when it comes to COM, if I have
English, por favor.
Diston has volunteered to actually go with me and actually be my advisor in the COM. He's gone through it before, and I really highly look forward to having his word.
No, I got it.
Yes, words are good. And I look really forward to having it because he's been through it before. This will be my first time going through a COM, and I'm really looking forward to having somebody who will be in my corner, like there with me to you know help talk me through some of this. But I mean, flat out, you don't get to go. I'm sorry.
We have great
Whatever I get information for the COM, it'll be take it to the kingdom. When the kingdom votes on it, whatever the kingdom votes, yes, no, or other, that'll be my vote. Flat, period, boom, done. And if you don't believe that, just remember what I did to Spring War and jugging. I canceled jugging. Everybody was like, no, you need to not cancel jugging. No. I stuck to my guns. I'm okay to go against the popular vote, because that's obviously the CK vote, which is not the popular one, and stick with it.
Because we're not the cool kids anymore.
And I found some really cool, interesting secrets about the COM I can't share in public, but about where you're supposed to sit.
Mm-hmm.
And how, and yeah,
know the
I've
secret
been
of the
talking
sitting
about this
chart.
with a lot
Is
of
there a
people.
spitter? I'm just kidding.
We
I
know the
just
secret
got a
signature.
message from someone in our kingdom,
Okay.
and they have proposed that White Rock Park is directly opposite of Lone Star on the Colorado River.
Once again, we're
Interesting.
still dealing.
Facebook this to me, and I'll do research. Actually, by I mean she.
I do research.
We'll do research. I'll send it to my research department.
We're friends on Facebook now.
I
It's all
do.
good.
I'll forward it to you.
I'm the development. She's the research. I go, hey, I want to do this. Find me the information. Hey, that's a lot of stupid information. I'm not doing that.
All right, so Kill Mill asks, I might have missed it, but if a dumpster fire starts during your reign, will you be ready to battle or eat popcorn or both?
Depends on the dumpster fire.
I like
Sometimes
popcorn.
with those dumpster fires, all you can do is sit back and watch it burn. Because the more you try to calm it down, all you're doing is just fanning the flames and making it worse. Sometimes it's, okay, let me look into this and see what the proper, you know, you've got to take it, I hate to say it, from a very professional level, going, okay, I understand your concerns. You know, let's sit down and talk this out, and let me figure out exactly what the problem is. I can't fix it unless I know exactly what the problem is. Sometimes it's just people need to go, and then you're like,
Then it's over.
you just give them 5 minutes, and they scream their piece out, and it's heard, and it's in the universe, and you're done. That's it. That's all that needs to be done.
And then
for
you
it.
always have people that pop up anyway and post random things like with
But
dumpster fire.
but also understand too is your role as Monarch, because I've been there, and one hell of a place to be Monarch for the first time. But you
COC
are
violation. I'm banned.
you are the CEO and the front. You are the face
I am the face.
of that organization. So if something does happen, you have to get out in front of it somehow.
Somehow.
I mean, you can't. As
can't
many
pick-
times as when
Okay,
I had
my
done.
biggest problem I've watched is people start posting, like, Monarchy included, they start responding half-cocked to what is the information being presented.
Well, yeah,
Me,
that's true.
I like to go, okay, like, I know I've gotten a lot better at it in the last, 2 years. Where I used to be one of the cowboy keyboards where I'd be like, yes, must get on the fire! Like, with all these recent fires, if you notice, I don't really post.
Yeah.
I wait, and that's also why we're going to be doing the Facebook Lives. This way, if there is a fire, every Monday at 8 o'clock, we're going to be doing a Facebook Live post.
We will address the fire.
We will address the fire. If it's something that is immediately needed, I need to go online and address it. I will probably write out what I want to say, send it over to my advisory team, let them read it, make sure what I'm saying is what I want to say. Because sometimes what I think I'm saying is not what I'm actually saying.
Yeah.
Like, I might be going, hey, the sky is blue, and actually I'm saying, hey, the sky is orange.
So you're actually going to have a basically a CK White House press corps.
Yes. I have a PR
I read everything she
I already
writes.
have a PR team in place for me. We
I
have a
read
PR team, which
everything
is also
she
part of my
writes.
media team. She reads everything because I misspell everything. Like, even when it came to my intent. When I posted my intent, I wrote it all up, and then I sent it to a bunch of different people, and I'm like, hey, read this and tell me what you think about it. And I had a couple people like, oh yeah, it's great. Oh yeah, it's this. Kill Mill was great. He pointed out a bunch of things where I was like, it's like, did you mean to write this word, or were you trying to write that word? I'm like, I meant that word.
Yes.
And he picked out a bunch of those things, and another person who goes, so what you're saying here, I think you should write it this way. It sounds more professional. I was like, yes, that's great. Let's change that. And I took what he wrote and I put it in my intent, and then I sent it back out, and I was like, hey, everybody, here's the new one. Please reread it. And then once I got, that was like 2 days of me sending this stuff out and bantering back and forth with people, and then I posted my intent.
See, and you were like one step away from now officially getting a White House speechwriter at this point.
That would be me.
That's her.
Okay, so
She
Okay,
dictates. So
Hillary.
what you don't understand is, like, all the pretty things you ever see me post online usually are me usually rambling for about an hour with a lot of hand gestures, and then hardly, like, it'll be me going, you know,
This word.
blah 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 blah, and you'll be like, yes, I agree. It'll be like a 5-minute me doing like, yeah, you know, the thing with the stuff, and then that be like,
I
oh,
like dogs.
I like dogs.
Basically, you are translating for a Wookiee.
Yes, I
Yes.
translate for the Wookiee.
No,
I-
Chewie, I don't care.
yeah, so
She
Are
does
you
my
gonna come see me
translations.
too? Are you coming up here too?
okay, so all right, cool. Trying to see if we've got any
I
other.
know, because, like, some people say stupid things when they don't think about what they're about to say.
Well, and that's what I do
I
here.
definitely have like diarrhea.
But yeah,
in the
even if
mouth.
I'm having
You
to
do.
respond to
Yes.
dumpster fires, yes, I'm still going to be eating popcorn.
I have become
A friend
the
of ours
dog whisperer.
actually gave us a popcorn machine. They stayed with us last September, and after just living in my house for a week, they were like, yeah, we have a popcorn maker. Here, it's yours. Y'all need it more. I'm like, oh, fresh popcorn.
Yes,
I am the chihuahua.
and I will say that in
You were
response
so
to that,
jelly.
even when I was monarch of a kingdom, you know, it was like there was some times that as much as I wanted to get out in front of it and go, okay, all right, so here we are in this situation. That's what we're going to do. I literally had to sit there in front of my computer and scroll through it, and I'm just like popping popcorn at this point, going,
The stupidity.
my God, I thought I had some morons in this kingdom. I did not believe it went that low.
Apparently, it
No.
does.
Actually, if it's a situation that only I am supposed to know about, then I will only go to the high advisory council.
I don't.
If there is a situation that involves private information,
If I don't want to, if I don't need to know, I don't want to know.
I will not be sending that out to a bunch of people.
Oh, is that in response to?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've looked at situations like that where there is a bunch of very particular information. If
Well,
I
anything that's
have to
considered-
go pull somebody's advice, I will be pulling very generalized question. I'm very very particular about which questions I will ask and how I will ask them, as to keep the
Anonymity.
that word
So, like,
with particular people.
with the situation that happened during Armand's reign, a certain individual who we all know was accused of something,
Yeah, and
and
unfortunately,
it got spread around the entire kingdom.
I know
And
it got to
your
my
living
house.
room.
it got
in my living room.
A lot of
it got brought into my house.
your
and told
living
to my
room
face.
too, ours as well.
It got taken into all the living rooms.
It got taken into a
And
lot of living
unfortunately, with
rooms.
situations like that, it's okay. Thank you for bringing this information to me. I will look into this, and then you very carefully have to play the look. The ground is covered with eggshells and mouse traps, and you need to get through them.
I lost a Cheeto.
That's how I think of those situations. Is your job is to get from point A to point B without without breaking any of the eggshells, and without stepping on any of the mouse traps.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a teacher for 18 years, and trust me, I've seen some horrible things I really wish I didn't, involving, children and abuse. And those are some situations you really, really carefully have to tap dance around.
Yes, you do, and unfortunately, any time that you're involving legal matters,
Yes.
and you are the representative of the organization, if you go spouting off at the mouth, the problem is you end up involving the organization,
Yeah.
and that's never a good thing.
That's never a good thing. You have to take those situations. Those that are very sensitive situations will be handled very sensitively. I have an advisory council that is consisting of 5 people who are of the utmost respect I have ever had in this game. Both former and current members of this particular kingdom who actually advise on even higher levels of our game. Some are on the Ombudsman, some are on the AIBOD. That if I have a situation where I'm like, I flat out do not know how to handle this, please advise me on how to handle this. I have person A who has made this allegation against person B, and that's what I'm going to call them, is person A and person B. And
Great, we're going to get into a scandal at some point where we're involving now. We're going to be called unmasked persons.
You'll be known as person A and
How to
person
catch
B.
a killer.
No, it's not that. It's gonna like the whole spying on the president running for office. Was it unmasked person 1 or unmasked persons 2? Unmasked
lost your
persons
chair,
3
sorry.
was
It's dog
did
territory.
surveillance.
I want a French fry.
The only thing that
Can't
I
have
would,
one in
the
this
only thing I
second
would say
house.
in recommendation on that whole situation is be very, very careful when
You
you
gotta
do
be
that.
very, very careful and very... I want to know exactly... Not before you go half-cocked off with your judgments on those. You've got to be very careful about how you tap dance around that information.
Yeah, because unfortunately, it's a very difficult.
Actually, I
dance
wouldn't even
that
call it a tap dance. I'd call it even more of a ballet.
Yeah, it's
Because it's so much more precision work than you ever...
yeah, and the
anticipated.
thing is one step out of line and it's over.
Yep.
It's a complete and total clusterfuck, and there's no way you're getting it back.
I don't want to be sued. I like to cover my butt. I like to cover the butt of the people around me. And she's
I
got
don't
a-
like to cover
And
my
she
butt.
has a really large ass.
I don't have a problem if your butt's uncovered. However,
No. I like to cover my butt and make sure everything's,
Well,
Once again, here's the line. We're going to be I can't even get my arm up that high. We're going to be way up here.
Well,
We're going to be so far above the line that when you fart, it looks like rainbows.
yeah. Well, I don't know. You're just not happy.
She just ruined your whole thing.
I know she did. She just totally destroyed where I was going with that.
Yep.
I the door was there, and then she just like bam, and my nose is fucking broken by the door slamming shut. That's how fast that was.
I am the dog whisperer.
Right?
This whole show has become about how we're the
I think people are paying more attention. They're listening to the things that are being said, but they are steadily
Watching us
watching
in
you
the
and the dog.
It is not a shitty rainbow. It's a fart rainbow. Get it right.
Imagination.
Well, no, it becomes a... No, if you have a squatty potty, then it does become a shitty
Oh my
robot.
god, I want one of those so bad.
Hey, what is the height of the original squatty potty?
7 inches. Want to know high?
You got one of the original ones?
No.
No, it was actually on a trivia game.
It was at our murder trivia party last night.
Ah.
It asked what was the original height of the squatty potty.
And 3 out of 4 of us got it correct.
Because we all just guessed 7 inches.
Nope, I had one as a kid.
Oh, there you go.
I didn't even know what the hell a squatty
She's
potty
had
is.
bowel issues for a while. No, just kidding.
But,
No, I see. I dropped 195 pounds like 2 years ago.
Oh, that happened.
Okay, so they want to know right now who are the people that you will have on your advisory panel.
Those are actually...
Is that names you even want to put out there?
Some of them are names I'm not even going to put out there, but some of them are people like Goldcrest, FT, Sir Quiet from Iron Mountains. There will be one person... I'm planning on resurrecting... Selric had the Elemental Council, which consisted of one member of every park. And I plan on having another advisory council like that, where it consists of one member of every park. This way, when I want to do big, massive group things, I can go, hey, you know, I need y'all to take this to your populace as a whole and let me know what they think. There's actually, I think, about 12 different advisory councils. Depending upon what situation is, depends upon where I'm going to aim that advice.
So it kind of sounds like... Okay.
Are we going to bring back the Circle of Steel?
Yes! There is in Arcapora the Circle of Steel, and I've never in the 12 years I've played this game seen a Circle of Steel.
I didn't even know what the hell it was until I took a corporate
I have.
I failed. That was the one question I failed on my last corporate test, because I'm like, what the fuck is the Circle of Steel?
Oh, no, I have. I've been involved.
So I'm talking about in this kingdom. We have never had a Circle of Steel since I played.
Well, since you've played, but we had before.
12 years, no Circle of Steel.
Well, you remember I was in this kingdom 17 years ago. We actually kind of did that.
Yeah, but
thing.
Angel based upon the advice I need, will depend upon who I go to.
Okay, so...
And a lot of them are people both in this game and a lot of people who are actually not in this game and actually have nothing to do with this game that I actually go and seek advice from.
So it's basically a fluid situation where your advisory is based off of your situation.
You can't have a standard set of it. It's like, I have these 5 advisors. Well, these 5 advisors may not know about this particular situation.
Or you only have one advisor that does. The rest of them just have their personal opinion and they decide they're going to be jackasses when the one guy that actually knows.
ANS judges.
Yeah.
If you don't know what the hell you're talking about,
Like,
don't judge my
when
shit.
it comes to knighting, my advisory council is going to be the Circle of Knights. I'm going to talk with them. I'm going to
Are they aware that they're going to be your advisory for knights?
That's what they're supposed to be for, so that's what I'm going to use them for.
Oh, okay. So they're going
if we have,
they've actually got it. So you're saying is they actually have to advise on that now?
That's their job.
Oh, okay.
I actually have, there's actually somebody who's already currently populating me a list of everybody in this kingdom who is of 7 or who has their 7th award or higher, and who has their total box tops.
Reach them
Because I'm going to go through that list, and if I look at your name and I cannot, in good recollection, remember the last thing you did in the line of your belt, I'm scratching your name off my list flat out. So if you are a Master Rose and I cannot honestly remember the last time you did some form of service, and considering how active around this game I am, I'm scratching your name off my list.
I have something similar for my park. I've been doing a Duke's watch list. So I'm looking at these players. I'm like, I should probably, see... They're really good at this particular section of our game. Mm-hmm. So let's check them out, watch them as they perform in this area. And if they're not keeping up the same level of performance, then obviously it was either a one-time deal or they've just lost
their interest.
We should really know why they lost their interest.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So what I've been doing recently is I've been compiling a list. And so-and-so has great honor on the field. And I don't know...
Is your house haunted?
Yes.
Unless that was him over there making noises.
But
the house is haunted.
As that person, performs and progresses, like I have one person in mind right now that I know for an absolute fact deserves a griffin. But I am waiting to put in my recommendation to make sure that this person does not fall off the wagon.
That's a good, doing the research into an award is great. Right now, I've spent since actually the beginning of when I ran last time to now, I'm still watching people. And I'm going, you know, this person's done a great job at this. I've watched this person do this. I've watched this person do that. You know, this person I think really deserves this. I've watched this person do that. I'm really big into the arts and science, so that's mostly a lot of the things of what I watch are people in their crafting. And I watch the ANS Anonymous page, and I watch people's personal Facebook pages, and I watch what people actually, you know, make and wear.
I did.
I watch what people make and wear out to the field, because a lot of people don't want to enter competition. I will admit, when I first started this game, competition was a scary, scary thing.
It's still a scary thing.
I didn't do competition for
I don't want to
like,
enter my paintings at all.
I didn't do competition for like 3 or 4 years because I got so sick of the judging and all of that, you know, I was like, no, wait. I you know, I'm really interested in this. I want to do this. I want to do it. And I want to get people, I know with Harley, I do it with her and I do it everywhere. I want to culture more people into the arts and science. I want to culture more people. I want to go, hey, you know, I can't give you your 5th rose for this, but I just wanted to say, you know, thank you for picking up all the trash on the field. I wanted to call you up and go, look, this person's been doing all this work. I can't award them their next order in their line. I just wanted to recognize them anyways.
Okay, so
Sometimes recognizing people and just going, hey, thank you for this thing can be more for a booster of them continuing their service to actually get that next award than it is to go, like, because I know a lot of people, especially in service, burn out because nobody recognizes what they do. One of the biggest ones I've noticed is Monica.
Yes.
Look at how long Monica has been our rep. 6 years. Monica has been our rep to Lone Star.
Monica is the Wizard of Oz. She hides behind the curtain.
And I myself had totally forgotten about it until I was having a conversation with somebody who goes, yeah, well, Monica is it? And I was like, you know, Monica does a lot of service for our game. And it's a lot of, like she said, Wizard of Oz, behind the curtain stuff. Mm-hmm. And nobody recognizes it because it's not the big, flashy, in-your-face kind of stuff. Mm. And I think that's really big. You know, the person who brings out a case of water every single weekend to the park. The person who's always the last to leave the field because they're picking up all the trash.
Yeah, but they're, like, up there on awards.
You know, no, a lot of these people aren't.
No.
The person that brings out water to our park every Sunday, I literally cannot give them any more roses.
We can't give them hardly any more awards.
So then what you do is you take it to the Monarch and you go, hey, this is... With me, when it comes to awards, like, if you've got somebody like that at your park and they've been really doing this, don't just go, hey, this person needs their next rose because they always bring out water to the park. Actually give me valid... Like, when I did my award recommendations to Armand for World Banner Wars, I recommended Hartley for a rose, and my page to Armand was a page and a half. Yeah. I wrote him a page and a half.
Like a military write-up for an award.
Yeah. It was a page and a half for everything I have watched her do since 2015.
Since her last rose?
Her first rose.
I got my first and second rose.
She got her first and second rose this last year. I wrote it for Yuri. Yuri was the top 3 Reeves for Banner Wars. I was the head Reeve. Harley was the second most common Reeve, as well. I couldn't be the top one, and then Yuri. All 3 of us, none of us were on the Reeves. I was on the Reeves list originally, and I got pulled up to being the head Reeve because the head Reeve couldn't do it.
Hip.
But the CK fully stepped up and Reeved
and a dog.
Every battle game, every tournament. We were there for everything, and Harley did it with a baby on her hip, and we had a dog. So nobody can tell me you can't read. And so when I wrote my recommendation...
No, I had DC.
I wrote, like, I detailed out everything what it is. And if you send me a detailed out thing, it makes it harder for me to argue against it.
Well, be prepared that you're going to get these. Like, I know that this happened to me. I was sitting there and I put out the message saying, hey, if you have any award recommendations mid-range coming up, you know, please let me know. If there's any that because I couldn't travel to all parts of my kingdom because my kingdom...
you have to rely on your people in all the areas because let's say I make it down to Wickerwood. I might make it down to Wickerwood only once in a 6-month period. And, you know, as much as I would love to travel down to Wickerwood, like, as much as I can, I might only be able to, A, financially afford it, or B, be able to work it in my schedule to only travel down there once.
Well, it's like a 5-hour trip
So I rely on
it's
about 6.5 hours from my house. But... I rely on the people that are there to recommend each other.
Yeah, we had one spot in our kingdom that was almost 11 hours from where I was at because I was in the very south corner of it and southeast corner, and they're in the very northwest corner of it. But the thing was, be prepared for this though. I sent out a notification that hey, Send me recommendations. If you got somebody in your park needs to be, and you guys can't take care of them, let me know. Give me a reason why. This is what I got. So-and-so deserves their 3rd Order of the Rose for outstanding service and contribution to the game of Amtgard.
Did you copy and paste that from the roll?
And I'm like, I know damn well what the ROP says. Now, why do they deserve this Order of the Rose?
What were they doing that made them outstanding?
And then my response back was the one sentence, outstanding service. They cut out the contributions part, and then Amtgard.
But what did they do?
And then I had to respond back, what is the service? Well, they worked. What did they do?
I'm sorry, if I have to poke and prod you to get this person their award,
Clearly they don't deserve it.
Clearly, either A, they might deserve it, but you're doing
buddy-
a crappy job
buddy
at representing this person.
Well, the thing is what I did is only this one time. Only this one time.
Oh my God, there's a question for Harley.
I decided this one time, I'm like, you know what? I'll go down the rabbit hole. Let's see how far this goes. And I kept going. Finally, I found out they wanted their 4th Order of the Rose simply because this person for a straight year had been the last person to leave the park and was always cleaning up the trash. Okay, fine. If they would have told me that at the beginning, I think we could have gone ahead and wrote off on it. But I had to sit there. I had 11 messages.
I shouldn't have to prod you to get the information out.
But it was 11 messages before I finally got that out of them. That was the only one I did that with.
My other thing I'm planning on doing is if it's a 6 or lower, and like let's say, Yhamish is the Monarch of Murky Waters, and Lufa's been going above and beyond and all this stuff, and I've gotten all these recommendations for it, and it's his 6th rose. Hey Yhamish, I would like for you to present. I'm gonna enter it into the orc. I'm gonna take all that side out of it. But hey Yhamish, Lufa's been doing a great job. Here is the entire listing of why he is getting this award. Can you present him this award at park?
Yeah.
If it's 6 or lower, we're gonna award that crap at park because I'm sick and tired of flooding court with bullshit awards. Like, great, you did your 1st, you did your 2nd, you did your 3rd, we're all proud of you, yay, yippee, skippy. It's all a great honor. But court doesn't need to last 6 hours for me to do that. 6 and below, we'll give it to you at park. 7 and higher, we're going to do it at court. Or at a kingdom level event. Like 7 to 8, we'll do at kingdom level events. Like if I'm traveling and visiting your park that day, I'll award it, or I'll do a 7 or 8 there. If it's 9 or higher, it's going to be at a kingdom event.
Yeah. Under Bubba's profile, Natasha's asking, I have a question.
Wait, is that Bubba's real name?
Yes.
You didn't know his real name was Gilbert?
You didn't know his real name was
No.
Gilbert?
I did not.
They say, I have a question. As regent, can you remain unbiased to the people who entered? Also, would you make a statement such as, it can smell better than it is?
Is that like the pound cake question?
I feel like that's a very
Can
personally
pound cake-
motivated question.
Can pound cake be light and airy?
I'm sorry. You should have used better fabrics like Kona. That is literally a comment I've gotten on one of mine.
It's all Kona.
It was all Kona, and they're like, well, you should use a more durable fabric like Kona.
So if somebody actually gave you a comment saying it can smell better, that's a shitty judge.
Oh, that's all right.
No,
That's a personal
as in
opinion.
someone in passing that they are saying is the person who is running for regent right now made a comment on their food.
Oh no, I said it smelled great. I just won't eat it.
That's where the question is coming from, though.
No, I'm a picky eater. I won't eat certain things, but I mean, I thought the chili smelled freaking amazing. Wouldn't eat it.
I didn't smell it.
It smelled good. I smell food that I
Well,
wouldn't
it
eat
was
all the
gone
time.
before I could get to it after leaving the tournament.
Well, it was because bacon.
Yeah.
Bacon found
But
food.
no, if you're not qualified to judge something, I feel you shouldn't judge it.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm not qualified to
Question mark.
judge food. I don't.
She's so fucking picky.
I'm picky as shit. I would rather have somebody that's qualified to judge your food. But I'm unbiased as far as arts and crafts. I mean,
I will have a Google form for recommendations that will have prompts and will have detailed out little areas for you to write your crap into.
something about it.
Well, I got a question, and this is for you. Okay.
It happens. Sometimes you don't even get. I didn't get any of my mac and cheese. I was really pissed off about
I didn't get
that.
any of my ribs that day either.
Yeah.
Okay, Harley, I got a question for you.
Okay.
And this is concerning the last one. Okay. This is concerning the ANS and stuff like this.
Dragon Master?
Being an, I guess you could consider an old school Amtgarder. Mm-hmm. There used to be a time where there was Qualls, and then there was a Dragon Master. Qualls, you're qualifying to run for an office.
Yep.
You are not intending that your qualification on that running for that office is your pathway to knighthood. Okay?
Nope.
You're trying to run for an office. Is it possible at some point we could go back to seeing a separation where these people over here are qualifying by the numbers to get into office? These people over here are trying to kick the shit out of everybody in every ANS competition possible. And they are going to be over here in this competition where they're trying to beat the hell out of it. Because the problem I have is, like, I made a 12-foot war pole. Okay?
I don't want to compete against her.
Okay, but here's the problem I have. Okay, I made a 12-foot war pole. Okay? Yeah. Perfectly legal, by the numbers, from nose to tail. She was ready to go out on the field and kick the crap out of people.
Behemoth.
I got a freaking 1 on it. I got a 1 on it.
You got a 1 on your spell ball.
No, I got a 1 on the pole, too.
Yeah,
I got a 1 on the pole. I got a 1 on the spell ball.
It's still higher than a question mark.
Okay.
Yeah, Jill got a question.
No, I got a question. One of the judges on the spell ball actually put a question mark on my score. Okay, but it's a qualification.
Yeah,
okay,
you're,
I'm not trying to win the arts and science competition for quals.
I just want to qual.
I'm trying to qualify. But if you have judges going in there, hold on.
Are you entering your item for quals or for arts and science competition?
I'm
entering it for quals and arts and science competition. That's me.
Okay, but the thing is, okay, I'm trying to qual, and qual says you have to keep an average.
Yeah.
In order to qualify, because if it wasn't for the fact that we had more than 3, I would not have qualified.
Yeah.
I would have failed out running for champion. And I think one of the mandatory things, and it's not in the Kapor, but one of my mandatory rules is I base my ANS quals off of the office I'm running for.
Yeah.
Okay, so I made equipment. I made equipment, and I wrote 2 battle games in there. And the problem is they judged it like it was fucking Olympiad.
Yeah,
that's
it
a
depends
big
on
problem.
who the fuck is judging.
And so
we have a member at our park.
while you were regent.
Yeah, we got it.
While we're regent,
I will do the one at our
are
park.
you going to try and get the ANS side of this back to these people are qualifying, these people are actually trying to win competitions because they're that goddamn good?
Yeah. I feel like that is an important thing. Personally, I don't run for Dragon Master.
Well, I don't either.
I'm not competing against Jill.
I'm not an arts and science guy. I tell people that all the time.
I was like, I'm not competing. I don't want to compete against Jill. I really hate entering things and putting my stuff next to Jill. I hate it. Because she whoops my ass every time. She's
You're
got
the
the better
reason
quality.
why I'm not going to put in my paintings.
Yeah, she's got the better quality, and she's got the better,
Until I'm
skills.
really
She's been doing it longer.
and then I paint amazingly.
I also feel like we need to have a novice category, and an intermediate category.
So like a 5 and below, like
Yes.
they would do.
Well, yeah, because
Which
I've been
is
in the game
important.
21 years. I have 2 Orders of the Dragon.
Yeah, I feel like
I have like 2 of everything when it comes to ANS.
Yeah, I feel like it's really important to separate.
Yeah, we know.
I have been doing this a really long time. And I've been...
Too nice.
I just started this.
So do like a 5 and below
Yeah.
judging as well as a 6 and up.
Yeah, but
Well,
I also
yeah, but
feel
here's-
having a quals section going, okay, these people... But I also have a feeling that depending on the judge, you're going to get somebody that's going to fail you during quals just because they're being a fucking dick.
Well, and see, and then the problem we have,
I could go on for this one for hours.
and the problem we have with this, okay, because this is also a thing that used to be, you put down whether or not it was your first attempt. You put down on your
put that in
card.
my write-ups.
You put down
Wait,
whether or not
write-ups?
you put down whether or not
They don't
you're doing this to qualify for a position. Now, some of these judges who are people are shadowing, and I've heard them say this, that are judging with shadows, telling shadows, don't pay attention to how whether or not this is their first attempt.
No, that's
don't
bullshit.
do not pay attention to whether or not this person is doing it for this or that.
I'll get
Don't
on
pay
my
attention to
soapbox
any
in
of
a
that.
minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Biggest fucking soapbox. I have lived...
I walked away from
This is
people
my
that were.
dinky painting that got a 3.5.
That's adorable. I like it. Is it... How long have you been painting?
6
months.
Yeah, maybe.
My personal
Dude, this is
thing.
still better than I could do.
Okay, when it comes to arts and science, there's my little soapbox.
Don't spill the wine. Don't lose the wine.
Fuck wine. It's like beer. It can all just burn. Yeah, I said that, but distance still
Some of
makes
us
good beer
can't
in
handle
here.
liquor and do dumb shit like almost get ran over by ambulances and.
Soapboxes. Here's my literally quite little. I think I'm gonna make a soapbox, and we're gonna like when I write it, I'm actually gonna write soap upside down, so that when I stand on this thing, I can actually get on my soapbox.
That should be an
Arts and
animation.
science is like, if you haven't realized, my like big happy place. So when it comes to judging like that, and I know because Harley has listened to me bitch about this for years, and after
Goes in
competition,
one ear and
we
just
go
kinda
back and forth
stays
in the
my
car
brain.
a lot, and then it spins for like the next 2 weeks in our house of us going, yeah, I don't know what this. Well, what about this? Well, what about this? When it comes to first attempts, I think that people should be able to, if you want, you should be able to present your item. Because then, as a judge, I judge competitions in every other kingdom of this game. Quite literally. I've judged competitions in the Northern Lights, I've judged them in the Wetlands, I've judged them in Emerald Hills, I've judged them at...
Everywhere. You just judged everywhere.
I just judge.
Shut up.
Except for my own kingdom. I don't judge in my own kingdom, which is funny.
Sorry.
You want to get me out of competition, make me judge stuff.
I will.
You're judging the next 37 ANS competitions and Dragon
Give
Masters.
somebody else
Only
a
if I'm
damn
Monarch.
chance.
I will take a 6-month break from entering only if I'm Monarch. Otherwise, forget you, I'm going after my next Dragon Master. Because I want to be a Master Dragon Master. So I think people should be able to present their items. And the judges, the problem is there's so much fear of being judged or having a biased opinion. If I'm a judge and I'm judging this tablecloth, and let's say Lufa made this tablecloth, and I'm like, okay, hey, well, what kind of fabric did you use? Okay, well, I'm going to ask you questions I don't know. How long have you been sewing like this? One of my first questions is, I love your painting. How long have you been painting? Oh, you've been painting for 12 years? Okay. Oh, this is a new technique for you. Okay, tell me about that technique. I'm going to dig into your skill level and figure out where exactly in the world of that particular skill you are. Now, let's say it's something like, I don't know, what's the subject? Metallurgy. I have not played in the world of metal construction yet. So I'm like...
So smithing.
Yeah, I'm not very good.
Legitimate actual smithing.
I'm really good at welding.
So let's say I'm judging a competition. I'm like, honestly, I'm not very aware of this category. But, hey, Accident. Accident's the only one I can think of who's made metal armor recently. Accident, you've been making armor for so long. Hey, would you mind coming over here and, helping me with this judging? That's if you do one-on-one, like one judge judging of, I know Bubba mentioned a bunch of categories. I don't know much about this. Will you, I've judged beer, and I'm allergic to beer. I can't drink it. So I went out and I'm like, hey, Diston likes beer. Diston drinks a lot of beer and he knows a lot about it. Aurora drinks a lot of beer. I was like, hey, try this and tell me about it. And I gave it to them. I'm like, okay, tell me about the bads and the goods. Okay. If you were going to give this a score, what would you give it? Okay, thank you. And I went to the next person. I went to 5 different people, took their 5 scores, pushed them together, averaged them back out, and that's the score I gave the person. And then I told them, hey, these are the comments I got. These are the cool people to go talk to that are really knowledgeable about this to improve yourself. Mm-hmm. The problem is you get a little scorecard that says, trim your strings. Well, great, I trim my strings, but how do I actually improve my project? Yeah. How do you improve? You gave me a 4.5. Great, I got a 4.5. How do I make it better? What did you notice on this that you took off points for?
Yeah, I was going to say, because you only got 0.5 left to go.
Yeah. You only got 0.5 left to go. Who do I go talk to about, me in the years I've been doing this, I've had to go hunt down the masters, and it was kind of hard to hunt down masters in some of these areas. Luckily for me, I met Aurora and I found out she was really good at arts and science, and luckily for me, she was really sweet about teaching.
Right there.
She was really good to teach me how to improve my applique. But who do I go to improve my stitching bead?
Well, and it's one of the things.
Who do I go to improve my engraving? Not etching. Engraving.
There's a difference, people. There's a difference.
Well,
etching is where you just kind of scratch the surface, and engraving's in the metal.
Etching is where you acid etch, and then engraving where you get the tool in your hand and you're like, I'm drawing this shit.
It's like tattooing metal.
Yes.
So Harley and I actually sit here and we talk about competitions a lot, and we've been tossing around what we're gonna do for Dragon Master, or what she's gonna do, and how we want to do this and that and the other.
It's like I want scores as the item is scored. Jill already made me a spreadsheet. As items are scored, that goes directly into the spreadsheet.
by the end of this, I should be able to turn around and go X, Y, Z. Here's the pictures. Here's who won. This is why.
Here's your comments. You can leave. Oh, hey, all your pieces are done judging. Here's your comments and your cards. Because the way I set this sheet up was, it'll run all your scores, and then you can take their comments that they wrote and type them into there. And then the other thing we were talking about doing, and it's a great idea how you came up with, take a picture of the item.
I like seeing
this.
it.
You entered this wine, so I take a picture of the wine glass. I go, this is the wine. Judge Lufa was Judge 1. I'm not gonna let your judges be Judge 1, Judge 2, or Judge 3. I'm sorry.
I
Judges need to be accountable for their freaking scores.
It's better.
And if a judge, Judge 1 gave you a 2.5, you can go, hey, Lufa, you gave me a 2.5. How can I improve this?
Yeah.
Don't use Moscato.
Don't use Moscato.
Fuck you, Moscato's good.
Here's
You received these 3 scores. Here's the comments you got with these 3 scores. Here was your average. And then we're going to post an album onto the Facebook page with all of the pictures of the items, with their scores, with their comments. This way, if there is an artisan who is out there like, hey, I see you got a 3.2 on your applique. Would you like to talk about how to improve that? The artisans can also go find judges. Judges can help find, the masters can then go turn around and find the artisans they see wanting to improve their skill in these levels. Mm-hmm. And they can, network.
So I judged an ANS one time.
We have a lot of comments we haven't been reading.
I was like, I'd like to address Natasha's comment, too, when you get done.
Okay.
The one issue I have is, at a park level, you know who the judges are.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, no matter what competition you go to, you know who the freaking judges are.
Yeah. But
I can tell by the
I've gone to
handwritings now.
Keep, and I can tell you exactly which judge
my
was
issue
judging
is
my
I
stuff.
actually had someone get hostile with me because they made a piece that was related to Legend of Zelda. Now that's my jam. I would consider myself an expert in Legend of Zelda.
Now, would you have been over biased because it is your jam?
No. The way I judged it was, what was he trying to achieve? He was trying to achieve the logo that pops up on the press start screen.
Okay.
So cool. His lines were atrocious. You could see every point in that leatherworking where he had tried to cover up a mistake. It sat higher than all the other pieces. It was a different shade than all the other pieces. Oh. And he didn't even do the design correctly. He said that he had traced the design, not sketched it out, but traced the design.
And it still was
still incorrect. And so I said,
went to a fan art version of it. That's the most common ones. They go to fan art versions.
But the way that he had written it up said, I traced this. So if you trace it, then that means it should be exact, in my opinion.
Or pretty damn close to exact.
Yeah.
He was missing pieces, missing elements, missing colors.
That would have bothered me. That'd be like somebody entering Kingdom Hearts stuff. And it's
this is
not
why
being
we were
right.
thinking about getting judges, instead of getting
I was
5 judges that have
to address Natasha's
okay.
comment.
Yeah.
So, because this is my sponge.
You and I talk about this shit.
I know.
Could you listen to me on my soapbox about this crap way too much?
So, Natasha asked, about qualified judges. Basically, I feel like certain people aren't qualified to judge. A leather worker may be qualified to judge the stitching on a sewing piece, but they don't know all the techniques that go into it. A painter's not qualified to judge metalworking.
Well, you're not always going to get a redneck in a group of judges.
Exactly.
Redneck is very talented. He can do multiple things.
Yeah. I mean, we don't all have, everybody's not multiple things. I mean, Jill has instilled with me, I should try other things. Yeah.
You may be absolutely crappy at it.
Cosplay's my thing. That's my thing. Anime is my thing. Video games are my thing. So that's kind of what I do. I do perler beads. I do art. I do digital art a lot better.
I melt crayons on paper.
I want to try metalwork because I haven't tried it yet.
Them.
I might be absolutely atrocious at metalwork, but at least I'm going to have the base understanding of what it should be.
I tried.
And I will know, hey, I've tried that. That's hard. Here's how I know how it should be.
Because I have a question for Harley.
But I mean, I feel like that's very important to find qualified judges to judge those items.
Would you take experts in these fields and do an ANS judge crash course?
Yeah. I feel that it's important.
We used to
one
do
of the things,
ANS collegiums that were for judges.
actually, that's what we were talking about earlier. We actually went out to stop at. We went to Trader's Gate today. I was like, which park did I go to today? I kept wanting to say Murky Waters because I'm sitting here looking at you guys. But we went to Trader's Gate today, and I had a long conversation with Nightmare. Night Lynx. I've had conversations with Nightmare. I've had conversations with Nesta. I'm going through my list of people I've had the conversations with that are qualified in these fields to talk to.
What's Nightmare done?
Nightmare's just good at talking about things.
Good at talking things. But, I've had conversations with qualified individuals about potentially running an Amtgard college, an arts and science college, where we have qualified individuals that teach on a weekly basis, whether it be video blogs about how you do certain techniques,
So if you were to do that, so say, like, someone was interested in my technique, would you...
I would send them to you. I'd go, hey, this person has come to me with this information. They'd really be interested to learn how you did your technique.
Okay.
I know how to melt crayons on paper, but, if you do it different than I do, like you use a hairdryer, I use, a blowtorch.
I use a blowtorch.
Because blowtorches are fun. I use a candle. I use the oven.
So it's the Elon Musk edition.
Yes.
Yes.
But,
I'm just asking out of curiosity, like, I'm not...
Yeah, no, I feel it's very important. If somebody asks and I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, I'll do a research and I'll send them links on Pinterest, but I'll go, hey, I know this person does this kind of thing. Let me send you to the right person. If Jill doesn't know the answer to my sewing question, who I go to? I message Aurora. I go, hey, if you're not too busy, would you mind answering this question for me?
There's been a lot of projects in her house where she's like, hey, I want to do this. I don't know how to do this. And I'm like, I don't either. Let's have fun. And we have screwed up so much
I
stuff.
have the problem in life called Pinterest.
I need to limit
I got
Pinterest use
stuck on
again.
YouTube. Like, I explained a couple times, and people keep asking me, like, where did you
Mr.
find
Dog.
inspiration for this?
I
Pinterest.
expect you
No,
to
I got mine off
die.
of YouTube. I was watching this guy who did wood turning. And I was like, I want to do wood turning so freaking bad. And so I was watching all of his videos. But then one video was all about crayons. And that one led to the next link. He made a clipboard out of micarta, which for those who don't know, micarta is paper covered in resin, and you do several layers of that, and you get a hard surface. But he made a micarta clipboard, and he used crayon and resin to do the clipboard. And it looked great. Like, I would have not even put the clipboard piece on it. I would have put that bitch on my wall.
Yeah. It's like, So
that's where I got my inspiration from.
Yeah, one thing...
No one person knows everything.
Yeah, no, they don't. They can think they can, but they don't. My favorite thing to do is learning new skills. I really like learning new skills. One of my new skills I'm picking up right now is pepakura, which is basically folding paper.
That sounded like how the Japanese people cook themselves when they
That
go
is
to disgrace.
seppuku.
Sudoku.
Sudoku. That's puzzles. In a 9-block square. But, pepakura is used in a lot of cosplay. I'm really big in cosplay. It's what I do. It's what my arts background is cosplay. And so, I keep seeing videos of people doing props and things, and I'm like, hey, that'd be kind of cool. I'm going to figure out how to do that. So, what did I do? I jumped headfirst into Pinterest and picked out a 3-foot dragon skull. Because I can't do small projects.
We're like, hey, let's try this. Okay, dump head first.
Dive.
It's like my first attempt at pallet furniture had to be a California King bed set.
You should
bedroom
see my
suit.
woodworking project that's on my phone right now. I regret my life choice, but hey.
I couldn't just make a.
the
I
portfolio
just couldn't
with
make a
my
simple pallet.
One of my
paintings.
first
should.
really big applique pieces was simultaneously doing Angels and Demons, Shields, and Lyrics. That was my first big real headlong jump into applique.
Yeah, but like with me,
I'm an idiot.
like with me with my leather working. When I first started working on leather, no, I couldn't start off making a little wallet or something like that. No, I literally that wasn't my first piece. by far.
I know it's
That
not your
was not
first
my
piece
first
by far,
piece.
but this is an example of Yhamish's leather.
I want to
working.
see more
Yeah.
classes at more than
You're
just
getting
big IK events.
Well, no, if you want to see a belt, where is it?
I want more
Good.
paint and
Where's the
stuff.
belt?
What belt?
The championship belt.
Oh yeah, that one's dope.
Get good.
Where is
Okay,
it?
so Marcus is looking forward to improving
the
his
closet?
stitching and is looking forward to classes at Spring War. Personally, I want to see more classes at not just IK
Holy
events.
crap, man.
And
wanna
not
do
your- not
classes
your
like
traditional-
clan.
Give me a second.
I want to see like Clan. They had
I gotta stretch my legs here.
we did paint and sip, which was really fun. I didn't know I could paint that well drunk off my ass.
We painted wine glasses.
We painted
with little
wine
kitties that were
glasses.
dick kitties.
That was a closet.
Wait! Show me that elbow. And you know they had.
Hey Jill, will you touch my weenus?
Ooh,
Oh!
Do a wing
wait!
Yeah.
You get 2 for 1.
Yeah.
Oh!
Do a
Folks, I'm really sorry that I had to step off camera for a second.
He had to go to his bunk.
I had to, unfortunately, go to the hospital and medication, and I'm dehydrated as shit, so I had to step off camera to get something to drink.
But no, one of the things is they did Shrinky Dinks at Clan.
Oh my gosh, that would be so
And
fun.
they did the where you put the thumbtacks in the eggs.
Oh yeah,
to make
we
dragon
made
eggs.
little dragon eggs out of little silicone or
They were so much fun, and they
styrofoam
weren't
eggs.
the same
Oh, you put- yeah,
stupid
I've seen
classes.
those.
We made dragon eggs.
And then, like, you take a blowtorch to, like, make
no,
them-
no, we used nail polish.
No.
We were
But my
fancy.
favorite thing was the
I've
fact
actually thought
is
about doing a nail... Never mind, I'll talk about it
they
later.
weren't
do
the
this.
same, like how to make a sword, how to sew a tunic, how to make this. They were not normal classes that you take 600 times. How to make chainmail. They were fun, stupid things that I was entertained, and I saw the work of these people later.
Yes,
and I'm
tell me
like,
about this person. What do they do?
Her name is
Here she comes.
Alana. She's actually a
Now,
woman-at-arms.
I'm apologizing in advance because I did not do the paint job on this properly.
That's okay.
This is all 100% done by hand.
Ooh, that's pretty.
God damn.
Yeah, I did all that by hand.
Show the camera.
Show the people at home.
Like I said, I had not perfected doing the paint work yet on leather when I did this belt.
So now we can count Yhamish's leather people.
But every single bit of this belt is done 100% by hand, except for where my rabbit and my rabbit cage got a little close.
So my first time I ever
But she's made.
used leather. I told.
Don't forget to mention that the maps of the world are actually reversed.
They are very accurate too.
But they're accurate, but they're reversed. Look,
Yeah.
South America is here and Africa is here.
They're dead accurate. It's just when I sat there and had it on the screen and was sitting there drawing it out, I went backwards.
That's
But
okay.
yeah,
Forgot to reverse.
So,
That's a common mistake
um,
even in applique. People forget
that's
to
the
reverse
belt.
the image.
I
Yeah.
forget to reverse the image.
the person...
And one day when this belt gets to change to white,
Yeah,
I'm making one of
that'll
these
happen
in
the day
white.
after I get mine.
What's that?
That'll probably happen like the day after I get mine.
Yeah, no. When
Yeah,
one day.
tell me about.
So the female, or not the female, the person that made the dragon eggs, her name is Arlana. She made them with the thumbtacks, and she used fingernail polish to paint them, and they look great. Like, it literally looked something that would come off of Game of Thrones.
Actually,
like
I
I
bought-
would have used this as a
That's
prop.
That's what I bought them for. I saw them on Pinterest, and they came in a box that was a
Get you.
musical box.
But
with
I
the
mean,
Game
she
of Thrones.
did a wonderful job. She sat there at park, and if you asked her what
Good
she
night,
was
Marcus.
Night, Marcus.
doing, if you asked her what she was doing, she explained to you. Oh, what she did was she took a
I don't
piece of
want it.
cardboard, she put the thumbtacks on the cardboard, and then she painted
Okay,
each
we're
thumbtack
hitting-
individually.
How much time we got left?
We got all
Well,
the time in the world. We still
No,
got,
we don't.
No.
No,
Yes.
because we're starting to drag people off. People are
Okay,
starting to
so
fade
so
off.
final questions, people. Y'all can also ask us questions tomorrow on Facebook, and we'll have every Monday from here until whatever. We're gonna be
Not
doing
to mention the
Facebook
fact we
Live
still
on
have
Monday
pay-per-view
at
to
8
watch.
o'clock, so you can
It's already
do all the
late.
fun Q&As
I don't
there.
care. Well, yeah, no, I wasn't saying I don't care about you. It's like she's like, well, it's late. I don't care. Yeah. So anyway, you guys know these people on Facebook. You got them on. Most of y'all are friends with them on Facebook. God knows, like we. Between
If you're not friends with
I
me
think
on
bet-
Facebook, friend me on
I think
Facebook.
between the
am.
I think between the three of
Accept everybody.
us, I think between the three of us, we have 90% of Amtgard as friends on Facebook.
I got people I don't even know.
I
Just
got
got
people
so
that shoot me a message. Go,
excluded.
hey, that one time you were at our park in South Dakota,
I went through your park.
I was in South Dakota for like a weekend. I don't remember a single person there. You know, but
yeah, I accept everybody on Facebook.
You know, I'm pretty sure that if there's any questions you didn't hear come up tonight, or if there's anybody that has any questions that's like what we've asked,
stand on soapboxes and talk about some of those things.
Yeah, and, you know, and of course Jill can attest that me and her get on the phone and we'll start talking about crap and
for hours,
and neither one of us will remember our ride to work. We won't. We'll be like, oh shit, I'm at work.
Yeah.
Like, did I drive to work today?
Every morning. And like my 1 hour drive to work would be me and Yhamish talking about whatever was the topic of bullshittery that day.
So folks, if there's like I said, if there's any questions you haven't asked, of course you can hit up either one of them directly. They'll answer your questions. They won't try to hide it from you. Second of all, if anybody has any questions on stuff that we discussed tonight, just go ahead and forward them over to the page and say, hey, they already covered this.
I just want to make a comment real quick. Brian Lasky, Lord Ravenheart, says that, you know, Arlana consulted him about the eggs before. I've consulted this man on fashion, and that's how I got that gold dress at that one Kingdom event that everyone was like, oh my god, that's so great. I'm like, it's 2 tablecloths, a bedsheet, and a scarf.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
We're not going to talk about my first court garb in this game.
That's not my first court garb.
I still have it, though.
I don't even have court garb.
You've seen it.
Mine's hanging up on the wall.
Thing.
I'll show you in a minute.
Yeah, I ain't got court garb.
So, is there any more questions?
So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, Josh has tons of questions. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all again for joining us for Yhamish Presents. I want to thank Mokushi. I want to thank Harley for coming out here today.
I live here.
Thank you for giving us your dogs.
No,
okay, now this is where the Jerry Springer part of the show comes in, because now they're gonna start duking it out over dogs. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for participating in this. And like I said, if you have any questions or anything like that of either one of the candidates, please feel free to contact them. Other than that, that's all we have. It has been a wonderful show. I had a blast with all of you.
We had fun too.
Okay.
You think licking me is going to make
ladies
a difference?
Without further ado, we have to say good night and have yourselves a good one. Remember, as I always say, don't do what I wouldn't do, which doesn't leave you a lot of room for error. So goodbye. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Good night. Bye.